Okay, so yesterday we managed to take off the throttle body here and and also the intake manifold. I think I had called this the throttle body, but that big old aluminum thing we took out was the actually the intake manifold. Now we have to remove, and I've just kind of done this just a little while ago. These are all the ignition wires that go to the spark plugs, and these guys go to the sensors, the O2 sensors. So you got to move this out of the way. This is the front bank up here. I'll have to, in a second, I'll have to remove the ignition coils, the dipstick. And so right now, what I'm trying to do is I need to remove this wiring harness right here. Although, you know, the manual always makes it sound like you can do it real easy, and it really isn't. So basically you're loosening, there's a ground here you got to loosen. This power steering pump has a clamp that clamps onto this back here. So you got to loosen that because we got to remove this to get to the valves. Also, we'll probably end up removing this in a little bit. So I'm at the point right now where the service manual says to remove the injector plugs here, and I'm just going to remove these clips here and see if it'll give me any more height on this, because when we remove this you got to pick it up a little bit and then you got to slide it out. So that's kind of where I'm at. So let me see if I can remove these two little clips here without breaking anything. That's the main thing, is that you don't want to break anything. Let's see if I can do it like that. Oh, there you go. Okay, that was easy. I think somebody thought about that. All right, so that came off fairly easy. I had mentioned earlier yesterday that a friend of mine had kind of got me started in mechanics. By the way, this is not my profession. I'm a high school teacher, and but I like doing mechanical work, and whatever I can do, like on my vehicles, I will do within reason. Transmission stuff I won't even mess with because I'm not equipped. Changing heads and stuff like that, I wouldn't even try it. I'd have to find a mechanic to do that, or buy a new engine or something. But I was talking to about a friend of mine, Gilbert, and he was the one who helped me with my Integra. And there's some things that one thing he taught me about was the oh shit screw. And when I was messing around with the throttle body on that Integra, there was I can't remember, there were 6 screws holding the manifold in. I had taken them off and it would not come off. And he came over and said, yeah, that's the oh shit screw. And I was like baffled. What the heck's the oh shit screw? He says, that's the screw that you think you've gotten all the nuts and bolts off, and you go to remove it and you break something. And it's that one screw that you forgot, or nut that you forgot to take off. And it turned out that there was a strap underneath the intake manifold being held by a screw and stuff. But I did not break anything. We managed to get it off without breaking anything. But that I'll never forget. So anyway, got this off now. I'm going to try and see if this is going to give me any more room up here. And what I'll do is I'll have to put this up. I have to get some type of bungee cords or something to hold this up. Now the other thing you got to do too is, I don't know if y'all noticed, but there's like white stuff falling off of here, and you got to clean all that, because once you take the valve cover off, it's open to anything that falls in, and so you got to you got to make sure you got to take that off. So let me grab some old socks that I have here. Let me kind of clean that real quick. See if I can do that without, because I don't want none of this stuff to fall inside the, although, you know, the oil filter may catch it, but you never know, you might get some other type of stuff falling in there, and that's not going to be good. So we'll do that. Go back over here so I can clean back here. Let's see how dirty this is. Yeah, that's pretty dirty back there. It's on the edge. Basically, I'm cleaning on the back side of this on the other side, trying just to get off all the dirt and stuff. And all right, next thing I got to do is I got to pull off the ignition coil. So let me grab my tool for that. Okay, so now I'm going to take off the ignition coils on the back. And this engine, most Honda V6s, God, I want to say probably from 2000 to now. Of course, they've gone through a lot of changes, but the firing order is piston 1 is back here, then the next one is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the firing order that they go. So right now I'm going to be taking off the the coil here for piston 1. Let's see if I can get the, there we go. Okay, got that loose. Let me loosen 2. Okay, and now, see if I can get number 3 out. It's way back here. All right, so pull out number 1 here. Okay, before, I think what I want to do is I want to try and just blow some of this dust off. Let me see if I can get my air supply here. Oops, sorry. Let me try and just... As I was saying earlier, you want to make sure that there's nothing that can fall in once you start taking off these valve covers. So here I'm just going to pull off this number 1 here. The coil should come out. There you go. It's coil 1. I'm going to go ahead and mark it coil 1. Oh, okay, I was not supposed to do that. All right, let me mark coil 1 here. Number 1. That all right, so that's coil 1. Let me get coil 2. And the spark plugs on Hondas are fairly easy to replace. You don't have to remove none of all this stuff here that I did, nor do you have to loosen this when you're changing spark plugs. So they are very easy to replace. Toyotas, on the back over here, you have to remove the intake manifold to get to the Toyotas, like the Sienna. Yeah, they're a little bit different than although the front ones on the Sienna are a lot easier. Okay, let's see how this goes. I know it came out this way, so there we go. That's number 3. Number 3. All right. Get number 4 out. I've kind of already loosened the screws over here. This will be number 4 that I'm pulling out here. 4. Pull that out. There it is, number 4. All right, over here, get number 5 out. Let's see, 5. It's number 5. It's number 5. You really don't need to put these back in the same order, but I don't know, I do. I've done. I had a 2008 Honda Odyssey van that I did this to, and I just kind of kept everything in order like that. And it just makes things a lot easier. This is number 6. Go ahead. Yeah. Today, look, I'll just take off this head cover and this valve cover. And then I'll go ahead and just, what time is it? Maybe get it to number 1 to top dead center. And actually into this. All right, so now I've kind of cleaned as best I could. I disconnected the fuel injection plugs from the fuel injectors, and now I removed the ignition coils, and now I'm gonna remove these the screws or the bolts that hold that cover off, and let's see how easy that's gonna be to get out. That's gonna be kind of hard, and I want to say that I already have what I need here, I think, and we might be able to get away with it. Ooh, that's it right there. Okay. So, I'm probably going to need, let me get an extension real quick. And, hex my extension here. Go. Okay, so I got my number 10 socket here. And for sure I know that these bolts that are here, some of them are longer than others. So I'm definitely going to have to know where those go. So let me see if I can pull this out first here. And they're really not that tight. I think they're like 12 Newton meters, which is really not, almost hand tight, but when you put these all back together, you do have to use a torque wrench. All right, let me see if I can get the ones in the back. Those are the ones that can be a pain, and I think there is only 2 back here. One right there. Oh, I think I need this extension. I can get it with this. Let's see. Okay. Right. It's loose. And then one right here. Alright. So now, using those 2, and might be one. So one up here. Here. But just in case, I'm going to take my one there, one there, and yep, all right. So it only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now, let's see.
I thought it was your selfie stick.
How's that?
I thought it was your selfie stick.
No. That's a really decent. That's weird. That should come undone there. All right. So this one. Alright, let's come off 2. Oh, okay. Oh. Let's see if these will come off. See what's happening. These are coming off. I'm pulling the little washer with the gasket. Alright, that one's pulling off the whole intake. Rather, top cover gasket. I'll cover off rather. Yep. Come on. It's hard. It's off. Alright. So that came off on the back. Seems to be a long one. Okay. Alright. So as you can see, some are longer and some are shorter. And I want to say that all these in the front are shorter and the 2 in the back are long ones. Let me pull that one off and see if it'll come off now. Whoa. Yep. Wow. Come on. Ooh. That won't come off. Alright, that's fine.